Right, so I'm going to do a quick demonstration of changing the fuel filter. That's it there in the inner wing. Got all the new pieces ready to go in. I'm just going to see how much of this I can record, because it's quite difficult when you've got diesel everywhere. I'm trying to use the phone. I'll try and angle it to the right direction. But as you can see, I don't know yet, you might have to remove the whole lot. But by the looks of it, this ring here, I've marked it up. Should be able to just spin that off, and it should lift up enough. If not, we'll need to remove these fuel pipes off. But if you can avoid removing things like them fuel pipes off, the better. Because 9 times out of 10, they'll just cause you problems. So, there's the view there. We'll just see if we can crack this off a bit. For some reason, this was a bit loose to start with. I don't know why. As you can see there, the centre ring spinning. There's actually an arrow telling you to point that way to open. Spin it as far as you can till it drops, which it has. Now I'm hoping this should lift like that. It's popped up, and I can see the seal. The only thing I'm not sure of with these pipes being connected, it may or may not lift all the way up, which actually it is, in fairness. Just let a bit of the excess diesel drain off. And just have things ready, like bits of paper, things like that. Just to put it onto when you lift it out. So we're going to lift it out there now. First thing I'm going to get is a little screwdriver and remove the seal. Just a little rubber O-ring, exactly the same. And conveniently, unlike some, they've just left a little nick to help you get it out. So I'm finding this is a lot better than a lot of cars I deal with and work on. So that's your seal there. Rubber ring, just take that off, put it to the side. I've got the new one here, but it'll be easier to put that on just when the filter's out the way. So again, I've never done one of these before, so I assume it should come off, which it has. A little bit of diesel just spills out, don't worry about it, but like I've said, have everything ready. And just place that under, hand underneath. Of course, I've done the wrong hand. My hands are covered in diesel at the moment, so I was going to come back and move the phone, but as you can see there, now is a good time to put your seal back on. And while you've got an inspection lamp, it doesn't matter on a car this new because it will be going in under warranty, but it's always good to shine the light inside of the diesel and just have a look and see what's going on, to see if there's any little specks. And obviously get the suction valve and suck it out, clean it and put new diesel in. So what I'm going to do is just, we'll have a look inside for any debris. And all obviously the muck that falls down inside. It looks perfectly clean, but what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to drain it out. And then we'll fill it with some fresh diesel, just to keep things right. I have just watched a few videos and seen people removing these whole housings to change a fuel filter. I can't understand why you would need to do that, bar physically being able to tip it upside down. If you've got like a vacuum device like this, I don't see the point in disturbing all of the pipes when you don't need to do it. So that's the diesel drained out. As you can see inside there, it's nice and dry now and clean. Just if there was any kind of water or contaminants sat in the bottom, it's better to remove it than not. I have to apologise where I've got that light, but it's just so I can see. You get the gist of what I'm doing. I've put the new seal on. It's got the new sealing ring on. I'm just checking that that's been in line. Just make sure you check all the way around that it's gone on correctly the whole way, because if you start getting air leaks, you'll have a nightmare getting the car started. So since I've removed that amount of diesel, it has got a primer bulb on the top, but I do happen to have a can of diesel sitting in the garage, so I'm just going to simply And it obviously has to be a clean container. I'm just going to top it up a little bit, because obviously I'm putting a brand new dry filter in it. So what you'll tend to find is you'll tend to find that that the new filter soaks up a lot of the diesel and causes problems. So we'll just do that in a second. I'll just jump out there. Right, so that's the new diesel being put in, and there's a comparison of the old and new. That's done 10,000 mile. Again, the one that's come out's got no brandings, no markings, no part numbers, nothing, so that must just be the way they are. In the previous video I did mention about thinking that the housing was Marley. It's not. There's a note, you probably can't see, it's a Denso. So if you could get a Denso filter for one of these, it will be original equipment. So I'm just going to put it back on the stand. See if we can get a decent angle out there, and then we'll put the new filter on. Just make sure you grease, right, put some diesel on or something like that onto the seals, and don't touch that, the kind of the element of the filter. I'm just trying to angle the light so I can at the same time see what I'm doing, and you can see what I'm doing. So you just push the new unit in like so. It's got on nicely. Once you've got it in line, just make sure it pushes into position properly. Bring it over and drop it into place. I've made a mark, so I'm marking it up to the position that I actually took it out on. This is where it becomes difficult when losing light. And then just get the threads to start, but just be gentle with them because they are just plastic, so you don't want to be forcing nothing. What I tend to do once you've got the thread started is just work it a bit and make sure it's in line. I don't know why with this, but before I even touched it, it was loose, this thing here, so we'll see how it lines up. Seems to be going on okay. Now, see my white mark I left before? It's obviously just going to need a little bit more. There you go, you see? It's always there. I don't know if you can see that on camera. See that white mark there? Always pays to get a white paint pen before you start dismantling anything. Spend a few minutes, not even a few minutes, literally seconds, mark something up, and it saves you hours of time not knowing if you've put it back in the right position. So at least now I know. I did find that strange because that's tight now, but before I even touched this, this middle bit seemed loose. So that's strange. Seems to be on a lot better now. Then obviously you've seen us prime this with diesel. I've put diesel in, but since this car's got a primer bulb on the top, just prime it up. And hear the diesel coming through. You don't need to go mad with it or anything. And then just give it a few minutes, because obviously you're pumping diesel into a dry filter. I did pre-fill that area, but still it will be soaking into the new filter element. While that's doing that, I'm just going to grab some paper. Just give a bit of a clean up around where diesels ran down the housing, because you want to be checking for leaks once you've primed it and once the car's running. And what I can see down at the bottom there, not much has leaked out. I'm just going to spray a bit of solvent on it just to rinse off any excess diesel. Just give it a bit more of a prime. And then just give it a little while longer. Just doing the final bit. There we go, that's gone hard. Now, to see if it starts. Some cars have electronic primers. I know for a fact, obviously these don't, because it's got the priming bulb on. Don't go revving the engine or anything, what a lot of people tend to do, because if there is any kind of issues, it can actually cause when the filter's soaking up the new diesel. So just let it tick over. While it is, obviously if you had the pipes off, check round the pipes, but we haven't. But we'll just be checking around this seal. Normally when it's running, just give it a little bit of a prime. It just helps. Yeah, that's perfect, that. So, but I've just switched the camera around, with diesel on my hands so the phone's not reacting. So if you want to see more of this, like and subscribe, leave a comment. I'll follow this video on with dropping the under trays, doing the oil filter change, checking the diffs, gearbox fluids, and I may do it when I may take the rear drums off and adjust the handbrake a bit on it because it seems to be getting a bit high. So thank you very much for watching, bye.